What kind of pens are you looking for? Do you want to run downstairs and grab some? Okay.
That one just started making noises at me. Like it started clicking. Like the lens was...
Oh, like the autofocus is weird?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the other one.
Oh, this is the other one. Yeah, this is the lower quality one.
Look in the drawer.
Hold on.
Okay.
This will work.
Hello, my name is Boyd, and I am low quality.
I mean...
So you are low quality?
Yeah.
Let's try that.
Oh, look, I have some small. And I...
Yeah, this one's super... There it is.
This will do. Getting out of here.
Cool. Later.
Have fun out there. There I am. Large and in charge.
Move this back to where it was. Give you a little bit more room.
That's tenuous.
Please stop doing that. That's weird. The laptop decided it didn't want to work. I mean, the keyboard decided it didn't want to work.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Let me make sure. That's good for me. Cool. All right, if I'm good up here, I'm good.
Yep.
Got a stiff neck.
Oh, I think we've been having this go while I've been. That's okay.
Wait,
They got a little. I accidentally switched it over. I had it in not studio mode. That's okay.
so they were watching us while you were adjusting everything?
Yep.
And they heard my beatboxing?
Yep.
I assume we have no listeners now then.
Grandis, is this that ASMR thing the kids are talking about? Yes. It's also us not paying attention. And be more specifically, me not paying attention because I didn't set everything up correctly because I'm a dummy. There we go. All right, cool. A little bit behind the scenes. Stop that, please.
Well, you said ASMR. It's a new format for the podcast.
Yeah, that's it.
An hour of boy making weird noises.
Oh, God, that'd be fucking awful. Be awful for anyone to go through.
Or it might be our best rated episode ever.
That too. Could be that. Yeah, so we didn't have a movie this week, so we just kind of have an open discussion this week.
Oh, you saw a movie.
Didn't
you? No,
What?
you didn't. You re-saw a movie.
Yeah, I went and saw Spider-Man again. Yeah, they saw me fucking turn on everything. That's what I get. I turned it
just-
off studio mode on in our we turned it off studio mode so that I could like adjust. We had some camera issues essentially.
We as professionals.
Yeah. And in turning off studio mode, I forgot that to turn back on
Studio mode?
Like I forgot to turn it back on. And I forgot when you click to another thing, it auto changes if you're streaming. Now we know.
Yeah.
And now it's good to know.
I knew I was in there beatboxing out there for a reason.
Yeah, exactly. Got a little bit of a behind the scenes look.
Curtis is set up and Boyd's just being annoying.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
accurate.
Yeah, I mean, Curtis is doing all the work, and Boyd's in the corner making noises.
Yeah. That's what I do.
Yeah, it's true. No, I went and saw Spider-Man again.
You
I did. Just because an opportunity opened up for me to go see it again. And so I did.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed it still the second time around.
Well, that's a good thing.
It was more interesting to watch it knowing everything that happens.
Yeah.
And kind of like looking for things.
Like the small detail that I caught the first time.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Things like that. But we didn't have anything new this week per se. I mean, I finally watched this week.
Stranger Things?
Oh,
that was last
no,
week.
that was last week. I watched this week. I finally watched Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah?
Oh,
Rough?
that movie is not good.
All right.
It is, in fact, a bad movie. It is a bad movie with a decent Live Aid concert section.
What did I watch this week? Not much.
No. I just, it hit HBO and I was like, you know what? Like, I'm curious. Like, I didn't really have much interest in seeing it because I felt like all the trailers felt like it was like, oh, okay, let's just have Rami Malek do a fucking Freddie Mercury impression for 2 hours. And that's what it is.
I also just realized this week I had a couple days where you were either asleep or still in bed when I left for work.
Yeah.
And by the time I got home, you were asleep.
Yeah, but to be fair,
Yeah, to be fair.
you left for work at 7
Yeah.
or ish.
Yep.
Or no, after 7-ish.
Yeah.
I usually actually woke up and went back to sleep.
When I left around
7:45.
7:40 on Wednesday, you were snoring.
Yes.
When I got home a little from work, a little after 11 p.m.,
Yeah, that's
you were snoring.
that's. I want to feel like I want people to have the clarification here of that is Boyd leaving for work at a regular time, and also Boyd getting home from work when most people are asleep.
yeah.
Not Curtis woke up. Curtis got up at 10 a.m. and Curtis went to bed at 6 p.m. Like, that didn't happen.
Not this week.
No, it doesn't happen.
I don't think you've gone to bed at 6 yet, but
The only time I've ever gone to bed that early is when I've been like deathly sick.
I mean, I've got to, like when I'm unemployed and my sleep schedule gets really whack, sure.
Yeah.
But that's also because, it might be going to bed at 6 p.m., but I've been up since 3 p.m. the day before.
Yeah. See, I don't do that. Like, I keep a regular work schedule. Like,
Yeah, I don't
thing.
have a biorhythm.
No, it's annoying.
Yeah.
But yeah, I watched Bohemian Rhapsody. Like, I cannot believe that movie won the Oscar for best editing. It is.
Rough.
Yeah, I mean, a friend of ours put it correctly when I was talking with him about it last night. He said it was the most noticeable editing. And that's true. Like, there's a scene that somebody put online of that's them sitting down for lunch with a record exec.
Yeah.
And there's as many cuts in that scene as there is
Liam
in
Neeson
Liam
jumping over
Neeson jumping over a fence.
Yeah.
And it's them sitting at a table
Yeah.
having a discussion. Like, it's one person is talking and it'll cut 4 times.
That's weird.
Like, between
Like it's a conversation. It's not an argument.
no.
Yeah.
And it's not supposed to be. It's
Because like quick cuts in an argument can help,
yeah. It
bring the energy.
Builds the energy. No, it has frenetic energy when there doesn't need to be any.
Yeah.
I guess is the best way to look at it. But yeah, it's a lot of it was really frustrating too because the song, like when they're writing, they're going through the songwriting process, blah blah blah, and every single time they're just like, I have an idea.
But
Yeah, and that's how they do it. Like they have their it's never a
there's never false starts or
never
struggle.
false starts or anything like that. It's never like them trying something out. It's always just like, oh my god, I have it, and it clicks into thought and into their brain, and that's like, come on.
Get moments like they tried Bohemian Rhapsody on a tuba or something.
Yeah, well, like the first time you hear like a chord from Bohemian Rhapsody is him literally laying in bed and he like plays it upside down on a piano. Like he's like, yeah, like this. And like he plays the doon 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 doon, the piano at the beginning.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, yeah, that never fucking happened. Like you're making shit up. Like it feels like Book of Mormon. Like you're making things up again, Arnold. Like
I mean, thinking of old good stuff though, David Bowie's Mercury mixtape.
Yes.
Or like mixtape. No.
demo.
Demo tape came out this week.
Yeah.
And I'm strangely in love with that version of Space Odyssey.
I see. Here's the thing: is I actually never have liked that song.
I like Sodium better. Like it's so stripped down.
I might like it then.
Yeah.
Because I just remember being like it catching on in popularity and me just being like, I don't
Think about the levels of like if David Bowie was busking with that song.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like that has more interest to me.
Yeah.
For some reason I just like I love a lot of Bowie music and about half of it it's about 50-50 for me. Like 50-50 is like there's about half of it I really love. The other half I'm like, this is dumb.
You should check out the Mercury tape, the Mercury demo,
I'll give it a
because
listen.
it's so stripped down.
Yeah. Just super like back to the core kind of thing.
It's Mercury, Hutch, who was his longtime guitarist, and occasionally a drum.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Recorded on a shitty little mic.
Yeah. See that has more interest to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. God, fucking Bohemian Rhapsody was so bad. But then yesterday I watched the man who killed Hitler and then Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Which is a ridiculous title for a movie.
It is.
It's a ridiculous premise for a movie.
Because that's the premise also.
Yeah, it's about the man who killed Hitler and then Bigfoot.
Yeah. It's not some weird abstract comedy or drama.
No, but like you think, and it stars Sam Elliott.
Yeah.
And you would think with a title like that like it would be something that would be more
Artsy.
No. You think that it would be like, okay, this is actually like gonna be a super intense movie, like whether it's action-y or whatever.
I mean, with a title like that, just knowing nothing, the premise I would either expect it's gonna be a weird comedy, or it's gonna be a really heavy drama.
Yeah, and it's neither.
Yeah.
It's not a drama.
Because I guess you don't expect that to be a literal thing.
Yeah, and it is. You
expect the title is alliterative, not literal.
Not
alliterative.
No, you mean like an allegory.
Yeah.
Or metaphorical.
Alliterative
is when it's
awesome ants align.
It's when the sounds continue like even though it's spelled with a C and a K, like Clark Kent is Billy Batson.
Calvin Klein.
Yes.
The new popular drug in England.
Yes.
That's killing people.
Really?
Calvin Klein is a combination of cocaine and ketamine.
Oh, great. Yeah. Ketamine. God, that's a real fucking popular drug in the UK. It's ketamine.
I mean,
like that's their version of heroin.
I will always think of Dizzy Rascal when I think of ketamine.
Yeah, of Baseline Junkie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can keep it coke, you can keep it ketamine.
Yeah. I don't need no speed. What? I don't need no heroin. What? You can keep your coke. I don't need your ketamine.
Yeah.
Baseline Junkie. Yeah, God, that song's so great.
It came out on my newsfeed because apparently it's some like 17-year-old violin prodigy
died from it.
died, and like it also turns out like her father's a Russian businessman. And
All sorts of fun stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, the movie is actually the man who killed Hitler and then Bigfoot is actually pretty, I guess, quiet.
Interesting.
Is I guess a good way to put it. Like, it has actiony scenes. Like he fucking they show him killing Hitler and Bigfoot.
Yeah.
But it's less about those actions and more about the man who.
Okay, because I'd expect to be in kind of the same vein as like, what's his face in The Real Girl,
Lars and the Real
Lars
Girl.
and the Real
I've never
Girl.
watched it, but
or those kind of indie dramas.
yeah, but it's not a drama per se. Like, it's dramatic, but it's not a drama. I get like, it's hard to explain how
The one with the puppets last year.
the one with the puppets.
Or the figurines.
I don't know.
Steve Carell.
Oh yeah, that one apparently got just trashed by critics.
Okay.
Yeah. But we never saw it. But no, it was like I was interested in seeing it because the title is stupid. The Man Who Killed Hitler and Then Bigfoot. Like it's a stupid title. I wanted to see it, and I love Sam Elliott.
Yeah.
Like that's just a fact. I love Sam Elliott. And so it was talking about things like what it really does is it flashes back and forth between like modern day and in the past, and he's an old man now, but it also gives you a lot of past story about like when he was growing up, and it's about him having to like he only ever killed one man, and it was Hitler.
Yeah.
You know, which by the way, that's not a spoiler. They fucking tell you that in the title of the movie. But it's very much just a movie that's it's a lot quieter than you'd expect, and it's really a contemplation type movie.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I didn't expect that, and I really enjoyed it actually.
Good.
It was good. It's kind of fun to finally get to watch these movies and like and be like, okay, having access to these movies that we didn't have access to growing up.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
that is one of those things that streaming services has really helped with.
because it's not like you're trying to. Okay, this is a weird title you're seeing in Blockbuster.
Yeah, no, it's not. Yeah, which I occasionally did.
But it's also something there's almost less investment to have to go for these titles.
Yes. Yeah.
Like at Blockbuster, I had to make a choice to rent this as one of my few choices.
And I have to bring it back.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Netflix, I can just start it.
And if I don't like it, I turn it off. Yeah. Yeah, that is one of the things that is kind of... I mean, I do kind of miss wandering through the aisles of Blockbuster trying to find something.
Yeah.
Like when you've seen everything on new release, and so you start wandering into the middle aisles.
I didn't do new release that often.
Oh, we always did new release. Like we always saw the new movies.
I usually went for the mixed stuff because it would be like $3 for $5, or
To rent?
yeah.
We
We always had like the package.
Oh, that's right.
package
Right.
deals.
Yeah.
So I usually ended up in that section
Yeah.
because I was lucky we got to Blockbuster once a week.
Yeah. Yeah, we had one in town. That was easy to get
We had
to.
one in town. That was a 40-minute drive.
Yeah, that was a 10-minute drive for us.
Yeah. Like if I was lucky, I would go to one of my parents when my mother was shopping at Albertsons. I'd wander over to Blockbuster.
Yeah, QFC.
But if they did
yeah.
Safeway that week instead of Albertsons, I wasn't gonna make it to
Yeah. No, it has the things have changed in that perspective, and I think that's really this is a movie that I would have heard about, but I probably never would have gotten to see, like unless I really
looked for it
growing up, kind of thing.
Or you made a journey into Seattle to like SIFT.
Or like Scarecrow.
Yeah.
Like,
or I was thinking one of the independent theaters too,
or a Scarecrow to find it on like VHS or DVD or something like that. That would have been how I would have found it, is on like at Scarecrow.
Yeah.
But then I would have had to drive to the fucking U District, and that's from where I was growing up. That's over an hour away.
Yeah.
With traffic.
I understand.
Yeah.
I don't think I consumed any media this week other than book or music.
Music, yeah. I watched. I decided this week to kind of like jump into some movies that I hadn't seen before, or hadn't seen in a while, to kind of like revisit them, or to be like, okay, let's see if this is any good.
I'm guessing reading guides on FileMaker doesn't count as consuming media.
No, not so much. Yeah, I decided not to rewatch Justice League, and I think that was a good decision.
The movie, not the cartoon show.
The movie, yes. I would have said Justice League Unlimited.
There's 2 cartoons.
That's true. No, I would have said that.
Yeah, the beginning of it is Justice League, the animated. It's not even animated.
It's just Justice League.
But it actually realized it does actually tie into Batman the Animated Series and Superman the Animated Series.
Yes, we've had this discussion many times. Because I consumed media, and I'm not an idiot. I can see.
Well, you
it
consume
clearly.
media.
Yeah. Fuck you. It's amazing. And then Justice League goes on to tie into Justice League Unlimited, which ties into Batman Beyond.
Which wraps up Batman Beyond.
Yeah.
After that got canceled.
Yeah. Unfortunately. God, it was, the other day was like the 20th anniversary of Batman Beyond starting.
Really?
Yeah.
I swear that show was later.
No, like it was trending on Twitter.
Dear God.
Yeah, right?
Came out in 99. I guess, 99.
Yeah, 99. Sometime around that time period, yeah. It was just like, holy shit.
Fuck, I'm old. And I will say a controversial statement.
Yes.
I think I like Batman Beyond better than Batman the Animated Series.
I don't know if that's a controversial statement.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah.
I like both, but I found I've rewatched Batman Beyond more.
Okay.
But mostly because it was one of those things where Batman the Animated Series was groundbreaking.
Absolutely.
And has a lot of amazing stories. But they learned from that to make better shows.
Sorry, I just had a reminder come on Twitter of some gatekeeper being like, if you really want to know Harley Quinn, you need to look up stuff before the animated series. Don't just track her from the cartoon.
Are you sure they weren't being sarcastic?
No, they were being serious.
Oh, God. Oh, no. For those who are unaware, Harley Quinn was a creation for Batman the Animated Series. And then she actually wasn't even Harley Quinn to start. She was just
a
Joker minion that people seemed to like.
And then she was supposed to only be in she was only supposed to do like one episode.
Yeah, 1 or 2 episodes.
People latched on.
People latched onto her. And so they went, oh.
And they kept her around for that. And it grew from there.
Yeah, and then she became and then they did Crazy Love, which was the first comic book she was actually in.
Yep.
And then she became a staple character after that. But it's interesting to think that like what now people think of as a classic Batman character popped up in like what 93, 94, something like that.
Like she's newer than Clayface.
Yeah, Clayface has been around for 40 years, longer.
She's newer than a lot of like the mainstay villains.
Yeah, and it's interesting to think about that she's technically a classic character now.
Yeah,
I mean we have newer Hush is a newer villain than
Talon.
Talon, yeah, the Talons were created for the Court of Owls.
Well, then there was Talon, who's like their assassin. Or
there were many of them. The one who stuck around and ended up in Sinister Six is the one you're referring to. Yes.
This is definitely villains who are newer.
Yeah. Like I said, Hush is newer. The Court of Owls in general.
How old is Mr. Freeze?
Freeze?
Yeah.
Like he's one of the oldest villains.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
Just because he's such a sci-fi concept.
Yeah, he was. Let's put it this way: he was around long enough that they did a version of him on the Batman 66.
Okay.
That I think, if I remember correctly, they called something different, but it was a version of him.
Okay.
But yeah, he's been around for a hot minute. It's like Harley Quinn to me is the same as Wolverine, because Wolverine is not originally an X-Man. He was created many years later. I think he was created in the 80s.
He wasn't an X-Men associate at all.
No, he was a villain.
And do you know for who?
Hulk.
Yeah,
Yeah. And then
because he was a villain who could stand up to Hulk.
yeah. And then he became what he is now in the X-Men because people latched onto it.
Yeah.
It is interesting to think about these like things that now we think of as mainstays or classics, when we realize that, oh wait, there's a far greater depth to whatever roster it is that we're looking at than just
Well,
these
also who we
fucking
think of
characters.
mainstays who haven't been as long as some of the older non-mainstays.
Mm-hmm.
Like Kite Man's a lot older than Harley Quinn.
It's true.
Condiment King is older than Harley Quinn.
It's true. The Egghead.
Yeah.
Uh,
Calendar Man.
Calendar Man has been a mainstay for a long time. He hasn't been a super main villain in a long time, but he's always kind of been around.
I know Ra's al Ghul popped up in the 66.
Ra's al Ghul has been around for forever.
Literally.
Yeah. And that was kind of Talia's been around for forever too.
Yeah.
Damian Wayne was created in the mid-aughts by, if I remember correctly, Grant Morrison created him.
I think so. How long has Bane been around?
90s.
Yeah.
Nightfall.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Nightfall was the introduction of Bane.
And then bastardized for the movie.
And bastardized for both movies, actually. The Dark Knight Rises was closer
Yeah.
to Bane from the comics, but it wasn't.
In a lot of ways, the two movie versions combined are the comic version.
Yeah, yes and no. Like, one of the things that I love about, and it would be very difficult to make this movie, so they kind of did it in The Dark Knight Rises. Bane lets all the prisoners out of Arkham. In The Dark Knight Rises, he lets everyone out of Blackgate and holds the city hostage, all that stuff. But in the comics, he lets everyone out of Arkham, which leads into some interesting. And he's known all along who Batman is.
Yeah.
He figured it out because he's super smart. And he goes through. He basically it gives you all of these interesting side stories of all of these different villains who have been around for a while, and some of them try and team up and it doesn't go well. That's when the ventriloquist, and because he's gained the sock while in Arkham because he doesn't have Scarface.
So he had both of them at that point?
And so he has both of them, and they get in a fight with each other, and Scarface ends up shooting them.
Yeah.
And that's the end of that story, and they move on. He never actually becomes a problem for Batman. They just...
Because the Sock is a far more benevolent character.
No,
it wasn't.
He's not. He's taken Scarface's place.
Okay.
The only benevolent character in all of this is the ventriloquist himself, who he has dissociative identity disorder, and it manifests in his ventriloquism. And so, but without the puppet, Scarface doesn't exist.
Right.
It's kind of the...
I mean, some of the stuff is hinted at the idea that maybe the Scarface is more like the puppet is. Yeah.
Is the main.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no. There's a whole discussion. There's a great book called Batman: The Psychology of the Dark Knight, I believe it's called. It's really good. I enjoyed it a lot. But you get team ups of the Riddler and I'm trying to remember who he teams up with. I think it's the Riddler and Scarecrow. And they're trying to team up with each other, and they just end up getting in a fight.
Yeah.
But essentially, and then basically it wreaks enough havoc on the city that Batman he's working. He doesn't sleep for a week.
Yeah.
And then he has to take down Bane's he has 4 henchmen that he's taking down. And then at the end of all of that is when Bane shows up at Wayne Manor and breaks the bat. Because he knew that if he tried to take on Batman at full strength, he couldn't do it.
Yeah.
So he systematically weakened him by letting loose all these villains, and then made it so he was essentially exhausted beyond exhaustion,
Yeah.
and then he broke the bat.
You could definitely do. I mean, the Arkham series kind of dealt with that, but you could definitely do a game series, a game with it.
It would be good for a mini series, like a
True.
TV show.
Yeah.
But it'd be very difficult to do as a movie.
No, I was just thinking like the two Bane's Extreme movies. One has the steroid enhanced body,
Yes.
and one has more of the genius personality.
Yes. Yeah, because in the Dark Knight Rises, he doesn't have it's not steroid, it's venom.
Yeah,
But he doesn't have the venom. He has the mask on because it's basically a painkiller. So he's basically constantly medicated, so he doesn't feel the pain when he's getting hit. He's still really strong, but he's not feeling.
He's not feeling pain, and if he doesn't have the mask on, he's feeling intense pain.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
But it's almost weird that almost becomes somewhat of a. I guess still removing the venom from the original Bane or removing the mask from him is the weakness.
Yeah. That's kind of where it goes to. Nightfall is really interesting though, as in terms of a full story arc, because it introduces Bane in the first one, and then Night Quest is part 2, which is when Bruce Wayne is going through his rehabilitation for his broken back, and so Azrael, John Paul Valley, takes over the mantle of the Bat.
Yeah.
And is getting more and more brutal in the way he's handling things. He's using blades. He's basically wanting to. He's just like I'm just going to kill everyone who starts problems, and that he gets in a huge fight with Dick Grayson, and who's I believe Nightwing at this point. He is, yes.
Yeah.
And so Dick was helping him, and then he bails because he can't help him anymore, and he goes to check in with Bruce. And then Night's End is Bruce coming back to take the mantle of the Bat. And that's a really interesting thing because Jean Paul Valley has been systematically building up armor, like this heavy armor. He basically becomes a bat tank kind of thing. And in doing so, he builds out like this full suit, but he can't move as well. And so Bruce Wayne comes back and he starts systematically taking these chunks of armor off of him that Azrael views as his power. Like that's what's keeping him. Like that's what makes him powerful is all of these pieces. And the end of the story is basically Batman has stripped away all of these things and Jean Paul Valley can't even fight anymore. He physically could fight, but he's basically taken away all of his mental capacity to handle this fight. And so he is basically crying in the corner of the Batcave, curled in the fetal position, because he breaks him mentally instead of physically.
Yeah.
And it's really cool. There's a reason that entire arc is one of my favorite in Batman, and I'm working to collect every individual issue.
Okay.
It's really, I think I'm really close on having all of the Batman and Detective Comics ones. I think I'm only missing like 4 or 5.
But some of the side ones.
But like I'm also trying to collect all the Nightwing and Catwoman and all those things that are little ones on. I'm really close on Catwoman too. There's only like 4 or 5.
Oh, nice.
I have like 3 of them. But it's that would be a very, very, very difficult story to tell.
Yeah.
For a movie, essentially.
I mean, you almost have to like the comics, a trilogy.
Yeah. Oop. We don't need that canned air.
Yeah. But when the first one alone can make a mini series.
Yeah. Like the first one alone is an 8-episode show.
Yeah.
Like easily. And so it's kind of a it's one of those things.
It becomes one of those series that almost like HBO or Showtime would pick up where they know they're doing X number of seasons total.
Yeah. Or it would be a good thing to do. Like, here's the thing: is that the accountants will never let WBDC do anything that Batman related, live action. They will never do a live action Batman solo thing as a show. They like Batman can show up in Titans
Yeah.
as a tertiary character. He's not the main character.
Mm-hmm.
But he won't show up in. He's not going to show up in. He's not going to have a Batman show
Yeah.
unless it's animated. Like that's there. Will always have to be a movie,
He's
and
too
that's
much of a blockbuster character.
yes,
Same with Soups.
yeah. Which I think is actually they're missing out on something.
Yeah.
But like, then you run into the logistic problems of you have that they're kind of running that DC's already kind of running into with the CW shows. Of they're having to cast they're casting different people to play the same character in different, like you have movie Flash, you have TV Flash.
Yeah.
TV Flash is better, but that's beside the point. Mostly because Ezra Miller is a bad actor.
Well, that's the other thing is stuff like Batman. Like I think you lose a lot of the detective element when you have to go just movies.
Yeah, you do. You do lose a lot of the detective element. Like there's a little bit, but they don't. It's not there's no
Screen time for it.
Yeah.
Like Batman versus Superman gets into it a little bit.
Yeah. He does it a little bit
Well,
in
tracking
he
out
does a little bit in Nolan's trilogy too.
Yeah, but I was just thinking tracking down Wonder Woman and
Yeah.
BVS.
Yeah, he does it a little bit in Nolan's trilogy.
Yeah.
TV Superman is way better. It's true. TV Superman is way better. Fucking the guy from Teen Wolf is playing Superman on TV.
No, not
on Supergirl.
All right.
We're
not going back to Lois and Clark.
Yeah. the Adventures of Lois and Clark. They were both on Supergirl.
I know.
Yeah.
Didn't they play her?
Tyler Hoechlin. Yes, that's who it is.
They were her adopted parents.
No.
No?
No. Her adopted father was the dude from fucking Lois and Clark.
Right.
And he died in the show. He didn't die, but yeah. Anyway. And then Terry Hatcher, who played Lois,
Yep.
was, I think, Mon-El's mom.
Okay.
Is the way they did that. They've done a really good job of bringing in people from like previous Superman things.
Mm-hmm.
Laura Vandervorst, who played Supergirl in Smallville.
Yeah.
Who played Supergirl in Smallville. She came in and played a Brainiac construct.
Okay.
Uh,
Will they get Lex Luthor from Batman Returns?
no, Lex Luthor's in the show.
I know.
Like, do you know
One
who's
of the actor?
Yeah, do you know who's playing him?
Who?
He just had an entire season. John Cryer.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he's really good as Lex Luthor.
Do you remember who Lex Luthor was in Batman Returns?
Yeah, in Batman Returns.
Yeah. Or no, sorry, Superman Returns.
In
Or,
Superman Returns, it was Kevin Spacey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, too many Returns movies.
Yeah. Yeah, yes, it's Ducky. Yes, it is Ducky. Thank you, Matt. Ducky from Pretty in Pink. John Cryer, who has been like he shaved his head bald a few years ago.
Which I'm going to assume this is the same just character storyline.
No.
Everything that happens in Pretty in Pink led to this.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah?
Ducky by today's standards would probably be that guy on the internet on like the Red Pill subreddit.
Yeah.
Like, let's be honest, Ducky kind of sucks. He really does. But they did lampoon him pretty good and that character pretty well in Not Another Teen Movie. Like, I really enjoyed the way that they took that character down because it's like, yeah, that's a dude who's kind of like shitty.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no, yeah, it's been John Cryer for a little while. They also brought in, Sam Witwer,
Okay.
to play a villain. Sam Witwer was in the final season of Smallville.
There is no final season of Supernatural.
No, there is. It's coming up.
Never will be.
Season-
Just go on forever.
Season 15 is the final season. They've already announced. Season 15 of Supernatural. Jesus Christ.
That's a lot of demons.
I know, right? I think they killed them all. They killed all the demons. except the ones inside.
Not enough drinking for that. Or pie. I need more alcohol and more pie.
More alcohol and more pie. But no, the Sam Witwer, he became Apocalypse.
Yeah.
Not Apocalypse. Who was it that Superman gets in the fight with?
Doomsday?
Doomsday. That's who he becomes. He becomes Doomsday
Okay.
in the show. Something tells me though that they're not gonna try and get Allison Mack to come be in Supergirl.
Her and Kevin Spacey are going to be in the same episode, actually.
Yeah, her and Kevin Spacey will be in the same episode. What's funny is they've mentioned Chloe in the show. Like she's a character who's been named.
Yep.
And
maybe when they started, they were planning to bring her in.
yeah, maybe. But yeah, she's going to jail.
I mean, there might have been a time a couple years ago they planned to bring Kevin Spacey in.
No, all the Kevin Spacey stuff was starting around the time Supergirl started.
Did it start?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was. I think I've mentioned this before, but there was a guy that went to Eastern. You may have met him briefly. He was there mostly my senior year.
Then I met him. That means there's drinking involved, so I don't remember him.
Yeah. He was a guy who had worked down in LA as an actor for a while.
Yeah.
And had come back up to finish his. And then he was an actor, and then he was a cop in Compton. And then he came back up to finish his degree at Eastern.
Like you do.
Yeah. His theater degree.
Yeah.
Super nice guy. Great guy. Legitimately great guy. And he had mentioned before that Kevin Spacey was a fucking creep.
Yeah.
And like, seriously, fuck that guy.
I mean, Kevin Spacey's one of like.
I won't divulge. I'm not divulging names or anything additional other than like, he's like, yeah, that guy is a fucking creep who can't keep his goddamn hands to himself.
That kind of came out also as people knowing that when Kevin Spacey's everything fell apart.
Yes, but I want to remind you that this was 2009.
Yeah.
When I knew this.
I started hearing Kevin Spacey stuff in like 2003. There were rumblings of like, he's kind of weird, kind of a creepy guy.
Yeah.
Questions of him in inappropriate relationships.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. And it was like, well, it was less that and more like, is Kevin Spacey gay?
Yeah.
And like, the answer to that is yes, but he's also a fucking
pedophile?
creep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those two things are mutually exclusive.
Yes.
For the record.
Absolutely.
But he had a tendency to not be able to keep his hands to himself.
Yeah.
And the guy we went to school with was one of the people who Kevin Spacey had some trouble keeping his hands to himself. Mm-hmm. It's like, okay, so that dude's a fucking creep. It is interesting knowing those. Like, I keep on seeing things pop up, and we've talked about this before, of people being like, "Did you know that this person is an awful person?" It's like, yeah. like it took, and it was like this year the Michael Jackson documentary came out.
People are finally accepting
people are finally like, you mean Michael Jackson liked to touch little kids? It's like, yes.
R. Kelly?
Yeah. R. Kelly likes to pee on underage women.
He's
been arrested for sex trafficking
in 3 different states now.
Yeah.
They arrested him last week while he was walking his dog.
Yeah. Yeah. Fuck that guy. Fucking Chappelle called him out years ago.
About the time Batman Begins was coming out? Or
Yeah.
Batman Beyond was coming out?
Yeah. Maybe earlier.
Yeah.
No, Chappelle Show 2000, early 2000s.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But Chappelle's Show had called him out years ago. It's easier to keep a list of celebrities who are not horrible. It's true.
Yeah. Tom Hanks, Keanu Reeves, the girl who plays 11.
Millie Bobby Brown.
Yeah.
Dude, okay, on that track, actually.
Drake?
No, yeah, you've heard about that story, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. For those who don't know, Millie Bobby Brown is 15 now. Ish. And about 2 years ago, she was talking about how she's become good friends with Drake. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people kind of, and a lot of people who are like people who work with sex trafficking and child endangerment and stuff like that went, this is grooming. This is fucking weird. This is like Woody Allen and his fucking adopted daughter weird.
Yeah.
Like, it's weird shit. Also, Drake is not a good rapper. And on top of that, his music's terrible.
I mean, I don't know if that's necessarily that's mutually exclusive, but that's
Yeah, it is mutually exclusive. However, but fuck that
his
guy.
quality of his rap doesn't affect really.
But
his,
yeah, but he's still being a fucking creepy with what was a 13 or 14-year-old girl.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's still being creepy with her, but that's not fucking okay, man. It just never fails to entertain me when people are like, "Did you know this?" It's like, yeah, for fucking 15 years.
Yeah.
Like, I knew R. Kelly was creepy when he put out Remix to Ignition. We all fucking knew.
Yeah.
But everyone ignored that.
Because I still want to find the original version of Ignition, but
Yeah. And everyone fucking knew Michael Jackson was a fucking kitty toucher.
I have a theory.
Years and years and years and years ago. Like, in the 90s, people knew.
Yeah.
And everyone just kind of went, oh, well, you know.
He's really good at dancing.
He's but he makes such good music. It's like, yeah, John Lennon beat his first wife like a motherfucker. I still love the Beatles. He was a bad person.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just thinking. I'm assuming someone has a mixtape that has the song tributes about and the original version of Ignition on it.
Yeah, I think there is one somewhere, but I'm not gonna go find it.
What?
Like, there is the original version of Ignition
Yeah.
somewhere. I've never heard it. I don't care to.
It's probably still in the kitchen.
God damn it. Fuck you. I hated that song. Like, it came out when I was in like 8th or 9th grade. Like, it came out around that time, and we went on a trip to Washington, D.C., like a school trip, and there was one kid on the bus who would not stop playing it loudly.
I mean, I'm thinking back to the time period, like what kind of gear is required to remix songs. Mm-hmm. That's a lot of weird equipment to keep in your kitchen.
Okay, we're moving on from that.
I mean, nowadays you can just have a laptop. That's on the table. That's reasonable.
Yes.
That's a lot of gear back then to have.
You could have had a laptop back then.
Yeah.
You
I
could.
guess you could
You
have.
could have.
You'd probably still need external hard drives.
Oh, yeah. The laptop battery would only last an hour.
You plugged in laptop in your kitchen, just remixing Ignition.
Yeah.
Just drinking coffee.
Just drinking coffee. But yeah. No, it never fails to entertain me that people are like, did you know they're bad? Like, it was like it's same thing with Cosby. It was Hannibal Buress. It was like, you guys know Cosby rapes women, right? And everyone was like, what? And like, this is like a thing that we've known for a long time. And people just choose to ignore it.
Weinstein.
Yeah, Weinstein was one of those. Yeah.
Like Hollywood's like, no shit.
Yeah. Like, there's jokes about, there's casting couch jokes for a reason, man.
Yeah.
Like, it's a thing. It's a thing. Well, that was a fun tangent to go on.
Anyway.
And people who are actually good, Nick Cage is a good person. It's good to know. Karen Gillan is a good person.
Keanu
Reeves, Tom Hanks. Everyone from Critical Role are good people.
As far as we know.
They are. They're all good people.
I hope these comments come back to bite you at some point.
Yeah, they might, but I'm okay with that. But, everyone. Terry Crews is a good person. He's had some issues, but he learns and is open to learning and admitting that.
He's passed away now at Mr. Rogers.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah. No, there's a lot of really good people out there. It's just, you hear these rumors and you're like, God, I hope that's not true, and then it's fucking true. And I honestly do think the worst one is Allison Mack.
Yeah.
Like, the other ones made some people go through some really bad and hard shit. Allison Mack was literally torturing and branding women.
Yeah.
Like, for a sex cult. Like, that That one has to be the worst in the recent zeitgeist.
I hope it's the worst.
I hope it's the worst, but fuck, man.
Like that's what the fuck is his name? The new Tarantino movie's about it. Manson level.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and Manson, the whole Sharon Tate thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, Manson had his followers kill a bunch of people. Allison Mack was recruiting people into a feminist organization and then basically gathering tons and tons and tons of blackmail information on them all, and then
torturing and brainwashing them into a cult.
Brainwashing them into a sex cult.
Yeah.
Yeah. The dude who was in charge of that thing that she basically flipped instantly. She was like, yeah, I'll tell you everything.
Yeah.
And the dude who was in charge recently just got convicted. I don't remember if I've seen the sentence yet, but they found him guilty on I think it was 7 of the 8 charges against him. But they're all things that carry at least a 15 to 20 year sentence. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of all right, that dude's dying in jail.
Well, the question is he serving them consecutively or concurrently?
Probably consecutively.
He's got enough lawyer to argue for concurrently.
Yeah, probably consecutively.
One of the most fucked up things.
Concurrent. Yeah. No, that is I mean, there are things where it's all right, if you're serving 2 drug offenses,
yeah,
come on, man. Especially for stuff like those fucking poor souls who basically all the black guys who got sentenced for pot in places like California and
the ones in Florida where the cop just got busted for planting.
Yeah.
Because his body camera caught it.
Yeah. All those dudes who they're basically oh yeah, let's just arrest all the black guys.
Stop and frisk.
Yeah, stop and frisk type bullshit. If those for the ones who have had to serve their sentences,
most of them aren't serving they're serving consecutive, not concurrent, because they can't afford the lawyer to
yeah, they should that's some horse shit right there. First of all, they shouldn't even have a sentence, but that's beside the point. It's a whole thing. Yeah. That we took some happy turns today. Hey! Oh God.
This is what happens when we're allowed to just do our own thing and not talk about a movie.
Not talk about a movie. Yeah. I went and saw Eddie Izzard last night.
That's happier.
Yeah, that is happier.
Hopefully.
Yeah, I mean,
it takes some dark turns, but nothing quite like this.
Yes and no. It definitely brought about some existential dread.
Oh, good. You need more of that.
Yeah.
Your life lacks in that.
Yeah, I don't have any of that at all. No, basically the show, his current show is about the progression of humanity. The current show is called Wunderbar.
Yeah.
And it's about the progression of humanity, essentially. And there's some, funny side jokes and stuff like that. But basically, the overall theme of the show was, if we don't do things correctly in the next 80 years, humanity is dead. Wiped, extinction level event. That's going to happen in 80 years.
Yeah.
Or we can try and band together and fix it.
Yeah.
And that's basically the theme of the show.
Hey.
And I was like, this is really funny. I'm sad.
I mean, the current audiobook I just started is Everything is Fucked.
Oh, yeah.
Or is it Everything is Fucking Horrible?
Everything is Fucking Horrible. It's the same guy who made The Art of Not Giving a Fuck.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember the exact title now.
The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck?
The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck.
Yeah. I believe it was Everything is Fucking Horrible.
No, Everything is Fucked. A book
Everything
about
is
hope.
fucked. Yeah, okay. Yeah, because we saw it at the bookstore the other day, and you went and got the audiobook.
Because realistically, I can put it on while I do other stuff.
Yeah.
I tend to read more just sci-fi fantasy as actual books.
Yeah. But
I like my escapism for actual books.
But yeah, it's kind of it was a really good show.
Yeah,
Eddie's hilarious, still hilarious.
Yep.
But fuck, there was there were some moments where I was like, oh wow, now I'm sad.
I went on dinner and got good yet disappointing pie.
Oh.
We stopped by one of the pie bars.
Yeah.
And like got pie.
Yeah.
Got it home.
Yeah.
And one of the cream pies had no crust on it.
Oh, how does a cream pie have no crust on it?
I don't know if it was how they scooped it weird, but there was like no back crust, no nothing.
No bottom crust?
No bottom crust.
It was just pie filling?
Yeah.
That's fucking weird.
Ashley was complaining about it. I said, it's okay, so it's a triangle pudding. And she just screamed back, pudding is better.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I was going to join you guys, and then one of our friends last minute was texting me. He's like, hey, I have an extra ticket to Eddie's, or do you want to go? I was like, sorry, guys.
Well, she was also ranting about it because it's a mud pie.
Yeah. Mud pie should have a crust.
But also mud pie should have. So they got it called as a mud pie.
Yeah.
It was a chocolate and peanut butter filling with whipped cream, chocolate sauce, and peanuts.
It's not a mud pie.
No.
It's a chocolate and peanut butter pie.
Yes. They had it labeled as mud pie, though. Which is add another rant.
Yeah, just added another layer to everything.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
we went for fancy dinner and I was wanting pie, so
That's fair.
I still ate it.
I mean, yeah. I'm
I guess I'm really ambitious. I could have put some graham crackers for it.
I'm trying to figure out, like, it's an interesting summer so far here for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for those who have been unaware, I have been unemployed for the past 6 weeks or so. Ish.
Do you really want to know how many days?
No. But I got a new job. I start Wednesday. I'm very much looking forward to starting to go back to work again.
We all are.
Fuck you.
No, seriously.
I am looking forward to going back to work again. It's
If you want to go back to the dark place, we could talk about the many reasons why this entire house is looking forward to Curtis going back to work.
no, that's okay. But it's like this summer is weird. I felt like it's a lot of really bad things have happened, and now some good things are starting to happen, and it's
On the plus side,
Yeah.
East of Washington's not on fire yet.
that's true. Well, that usually happens late July, early August.
Oh no, I was looking up stuff recently. Like we were socked in smoke this week last year.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I just went through a run of like bad shit, and
Yeah.
now good things are starting to happen, and so I'm hoping that good things will continue to happen.
Hopefully. Or
hopefully.
you're getting hit by a bus.
You know, universe evens out.
Yeah.
It's all random.
I mean, Metro. We even said, maybe Mercury retrograde is affecting you opposite of everyone else.
Mercury in retrograde isn't affecting shit. Doesn't mean shit. It means nothing. It means nothing. Your coffee's about to go off the edge of the thing there. There you go. Okay. Yeah, that works.
I didn't realize how much was like.
It was on the lip. Yeah. Yeah.
See, people now listening just get this weird thing of yeah.
Like you can see it on your camera.
Yeah, but if you're not watching, you don't understand what the hell I'm doing right now.
Yeah, it was just an interesting, couple weeks with basically my grandpa died, and then I got laid off. It was like, oh great, this has been a great 2 weeks.
Some reason for the last couple of years, one of the random little songs that sneaks into my head when things like that come up is a modified version of Everything is Awesome.
Yeah.
And it is Everything is Awful.
Yeah, everything is awful.
Everything is horrible when you're on a team.
No, everything is bad.
Bad when you're on a team.
Yeah. We sat down and wrote this for like,
I know.
Come on, man. But yeah, so things are starting to go better, and I'm hoping it continues in that fashion. And I hope everyone else's summer gets better and everything's going well for everyone. It's kind of a
May a universe improve.
yeah, and it just
It is what it is.
it is what it is. Yeah. But yeah. So next week we're gonna come back and we're gonna talk about Lion King next week, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And then, so I'm interested to see how that goes. But yeah, I'm trying to think of like what else we have going on this summer. Like not a whole lot, but at the same time a lot. It's weird.
I just realized I always have like the edge of a lion sleeps night stuck in my head.
Yeah.
It's literally just a weem away.
A wee moe, a wee moe, a wee moe. Yeah. Last night at Eddie Izzard, he goes, "All right, we're gonna have an interval," and immediately in my head was Tim Minchin. It's the interval song.
Also very British too.
Yeah, very. But yeah, no, it's. I hope the summer continues to be good and that things continue to go well, and we don't have to
Destroy the world.
And hopefully, shit doesn't fucking light on fire again all summer
Unintentionally.
Like that.
I mean, next time we go to make a fire in the fire pit, I hope shit lights on fire.
Yeah.
Next time we go to barbecue, hopefully shit lights on fire.
Yeah, but I hope
hopefully Eastern Washington
doesn't light on
maybe
fire.
Maybe we should get a year where Pateros doesn't burn down.
Right? Yeah. It would be nice, and it would also be nice if Canada doesn't light on fire and fucking smoke us out of Seattle again.
Smoke salmon.
Yeah, different type of smoked salmon entirely. I'm planning to go over and visit over in Yakima again this summer.
Yeah.
And last summer when I went was like right when all of the smoke from from Moses Lake and Chelan pushed over into Yakima. Like the entire weekend I was there was just smoke. I was like, this is awful.
I went back to Wenatchee a couple years ago during fire season, and I missed one of my biggest opportunities I should have taken advantage of.
What's that?
I happened to catch through the second pass right as they reopened because of the fires. It was closed as I was it was open when I got there. It was closed by the time I got over it because of the fires again.
Mm-hmm.
I regret not taking marshmallows with me. Because there were spots where it was campfire size burning down by the road.
Yeah, on the side brush.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could have stopped and roasted marshmallows over a forest fire.
Yeah, and taken pictures of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
How often do you get a chance to roast marshmallows over a forest fire?
Yeah. I mean, I still will never stop laughing at that time when we were literally just recorded an episode, and my dad called me and he's like, "Yeah, I'm getting ready to take the exit through Pateros," and I'm like, "No,"
because that was me ranting about Pateros is gone.
Yeah, literally the episode Boyd was going, Pateros is gone. It's burned. It's like on fire.
Yeah,
and my dad calls me right after the episode and he's like, "Yeah, I'm getting ready to take an exit through Pateros to get something to eat," and I'm like, Don't do that." And he's like, I'm already off the exit. I'm like, "Get back on the highway immediately. Get away from there." And because he'd been off fishing and hadn't seen anything, and I hear him on the phone go, "Oh shit, I'll call you back."
Because from what I heard, like, you know those scenes in movies where like they're in hell and they drive through a town, like the hell version of some town.
Yeah,
it's kind of what Pateros was.
It's kind of like it was kind of like Good Omens at the end there.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I will admit I wanted to see that flaming car since I was like 13.
It looked pretty good. Yeah. Wait, have you watched the show yet?
Enough of it.
Okay.
I keep falling asleep. Like, I put it on the evenings and it was falling asleep. And
rookie mistake.
I don't have any other time.
Yes, you do.
I have a job to go to.
You have other time. You have plenty of other time. Trust me, you do.
I tried watching it at work, but that didn't work well.
You could have been watching it yesterday instead of sitting up in the kitchen playing Civ.
Priorities.
I'm just saying.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, pointing it out.
Civ, like, video games work even better for my brain to disconnect.
Yeah. Oh, you could also play Civ and watch it.
No.
Yeah.
I can play Civ and kind of watch it.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah. That being said, I think we're at our time for the week.
Okay.
So don't be creepy.
Damn it.
All right. That's it.
All right.
Bye,
Bye,
kids.
kids.